And welcome, event rental professional Susanna again. Today we're going to talk about mid-season. What is it that we could be doing mid-season? What things we should be checking mid-season? Big thing to check. As soon as you have a day where you have a little bit of a less of a workload, big thing to check. Jump on the opportunity while it's there to track your damaged stock for one. You put stuff aside because it's damaged, and then what? When are you going to look at it? Only in the winter? But if you have a little bit of a moment, now's a good time to check all that damaged stock and potentially fix it, repair it, or get rid of it and, write it out of your inventory so that it's no more confusion. It's no longer there. It's staying on top of these things will keep your business significantly healthier. Another thing to check would be your which items are the highest turnover, which ones you maybe thought, oh, this is getting to end of life, it's time to retire it. Which items do need replacement? Of course, we always end up, with damaged linen. Let's say if you do linen, you get damaged linen back. Well, yeah, you pitch it, but you also got to reorder, right? Because you need it kind of match what you have in tables to be able to match that up. So keeping an honest look of, okay, this is what my inventory says, this is what my actual is. If that doesn't match, you know that you are fighting a losing battle. It's time to take a quick snapshot. Hey, we need 2 people, 1 to count, 1 to enter. You'll be done in no time, right? Also, streamlining your warehouse. If you're thinking, okay, I've made some changes to the warehouse flow. Did it work well? Did it not work well? If it didn't work well, change it. Nothing's locked or, written in stone. So if the flow didn't work, try something different. Check your certifications for your safety, for your vehicles, your fire extinguishers, the things that you need to check for your insurance or for your landlord. Stay on top of those. And if you didn't remember to do it, or you don't have a way to remember to get this done, schedule it. Make it an annual in your schedule so that you remember to get these things done. Because it's not good if you all of a sudden lose your insurance because you didn't do something. As an example, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but why get in hot water when it's avoidable? You can also work on refreshing some training with staff if they're not following the procedures anymore. Why is that? Is it just because they've gotten lazy or they figure you're not checking, so they're not doing it? But policy, procedures especially in the warehouse, are in place. One, to make sure the job gets done well and it gets done the same way every time. This way, if your main person is off, somebody else could step into that role and continue where they left off. If there's no procedure, everybody's flying by the seat of their pants and everybody's kind of doing what they feel like doing, which is not necessarily a great solution for the health of your business. You want to take a look at different vendors and suppliers and things like that. Are you still have a working relationship? Are there some that you need to work on a little bit or reach out to? You just never know, right? It's good to stay in communication. It's not always about showing up different networking events, because I still think that needs to be done. But your friends in the industry are potentially, your competitor. At the same time, though, they're your friend because they may have similar stock or same stock to you. And when you're short, you know where to go sub-rent it to fill an order that you have. This is also a great moment to potentially connect with DJs and caterers and offer, let's say if you offer dishes, offer a package system to them for their upcoming, they're going to be starting to quote, the galas and the Christmas parties, etc., or end of summer parties, and of course then the Christmas season parties. And in between that, the Canadian and American Thanksgivings are still happening, right? So these are all family related events, and you would want to be marketing and promoting this. Start trickling it out a little bit before you ramp it up. Okay, Thanksgiving is coming up, Labor Day is coming up, things like that. So just to stay on top of those things. Another point I've noticed this week is checking up, do your strap count for your truck. These ratchet straps, they do eventually break, they do wear out. We have clients that will cut straps off, because we sometimes will deliver stacks of 50 chairs with the ratchet straps on it, and for some reason nobody in that entire party does not know how to undo them, and they'll just cut them. Needs to get dealt with, obviously, so we always order extras at the beginning of the season, but sometimes mid-season I need to reorder just to make sure that we have enough in our truck, as well as for the dollies, because if they're really nicely tightly strapped to the dollies, it's also much easier to strap them down in the truck, because when we roll the dollies off, you know, it makes my life a lot easier, especially if we can do 50 per dolly, right? Anyway, so check your straps as well. Don't forget those, because last minute it's always a nightmare to try and get them. Here we are in the chair bay. As you can see, this is all empty, because that's where all the black chairs go. They're not back in yet. They're coming back in today. Again, we're missing some over here as well. A lot of them, it's Tuesday today. I'm going to do a bit of a summary of the midsummer. So some of the chairs are still out this weekend. They're coming back in today. We're definitely missing some here. All the ones that have the damaged linens on top, it just means that stack has been wiped down and it's been cleaned. So that's one way for us to really know, hey, these are clean and these ones are not, so we can focus on the stacks that are not covered. We do strap our stacks on the dollies in 50 for those folding chairs, and for the resins over there, we do them in 25s. And that way they fit underneath there, and they are able to pull them up the ramp of the truck without any problems by our driver. Here we have some of the black chairs just came in at the end of the day yesterday, like, you know, typical 5 to 5. We close at 5. So 5 to 5, they come and unload here. So they're still here in the bay. Obviously, they're not cleaned, but they are ready to be cleaned, to be rolled over there. We also had quite a few pop-up tents out this weekend. Some of them are still here. Some of them already dried because they came in yesterday morning. We had a torrential downpour over the weekend, and so far no damage. So that is a great successful weekend regarding the pop-up tents. These ones are now dry, so they've been checked and dry, and now they are, you know, they're getting their bags on there. One of them has it done already, and then we go ahead and we store them up on the pallet racking above the chairs. We slide them in a small shelf there. Most of our rounds are back in. There's still a few missing in there. And same for our cocktail tables over here. Most of them seem to be back. Our popcorn machines were not out this past weekend. And our barbecues, surprisingly, were actually not out. Our 5-footers. Normally they're out almost every weekend. This past weekend, there was no barbecues out, which was very unusual. But, you know, you just never know what's going to happen, right? The dishes, they're coming in. A lot of them come back in yesterday, but she made a huge dent. These are just some of the dirty stuff still left. And then again over here, it's just a little bit. When it is peak, June, these stacks out here would be full, like to about where I'm standing, with dirty dishes. As you can see behind me, our shelves are pretty full with glassware right now, because not a ton has not been put back on the shelf yet. Was not a heavy weekend for glassware and dishware this past weekend, so that helps, because, you know, what you see here came in yesterday, and she's already washed some that came in yesterday because she worked all day yesterday, right? And same goes for linen. I mean, we had almost all of our Chiavari chair cushions out, because we had one bride that had a venue booked. She likes the chairs there, but they did not have cushions for them for some reason, and she wanted cushions for her guests. So she just came and got cushions from us. And we did have another 100 of the Phoenix clear chairs out with cushions. So, of course, now we have a ton of cushions that need to be checked and cleaned and all of that. But as far as linen is concerned, huge dent has been made yesterday. She was almost caught up, almost had everything empty here. She pretty much had everything empty. So we just have small piles right now of, 90 by 156, 90 by 132, 90-inch rounds. Over on this side, we're keeping the 50 by 120s between the roller, because, that bin is smaller. And we are ready to roll here. We use bus bins, honestly, to stack
We put 50 napkins in each bus bin when we are counting them and bringing them in. So when they come in, they get counted into 50s into a bus bin. One, it's easy to count and keep track of your count when the items come in. Second, we wash 50 at a time with a fairly strong detergent, and this way the napkins typically only need one cycle to get all the grease out. So it reduces my labor cost on the napkin washing. And of course, also my hydro cost on the machine and the dryers and the rollers, right? Not so much the rollers, they're only going to iron once, right? And then as you see here is the pick shelf, which is currently empty because it's Tuesday. And we don't really have a lot going out on Tuesdays, but she's still counting napkins there. And they'll finish as soon as she comes in today, because I know they came in at 5:02 because I was here. And they'll need to get dealt with. It's the same. We had a straggler of poles and plates. They are actually coming in from a week ago. So this is one of these clients that is perpetually a week late returning either the entire order or partial order. So it's been a struggle all summer with that same customer. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to cut them loose. So that was her last rental with us, so that I don't have this problem again, because what ends up happening is I could be short the following weekend, and I'm just tired of having to hunt her down for a week to 10 days, sometimes 2 weeks to get my items back. And then she won't pay the difference for the extended rental. So it's not a good customer that way, right? It just causes me a lot more problems. I'm gonna pan up here for a second. This is where all of our pop-up tents would go. As you see, it's empty right now. There's a couple over there, but this is typically full. So there's a few more drying there, and they'll go up here today. And we keep our red carpet over there as well. So we had a customer damage a lot of our red carpet at the beginning of the season, and we've taken them in and had them rebound because they tore all the edging off. Anyways, that's been fixed, so they're back in production finally. But I'll keep it up. I'll keep bringing you different points from the business this week. Another midsummer task that we took on up here in the showroom is that we are replacing all of our tags to these little ones. These are on our sashes, and we've got a little ring, and they're tied around a curtain rod. And then we have this tagged with the name of the color. Our old tags are a lot larger, and they just, kept ripping off. I'll show you those here. I did those in a mad panic when we left the franchise. Initially, I should start from the beginning. We initially started in 2011 as a franchise owner. And then I think it was 2014, we had bought our second franchise store. We were on a payment plan to take it over because they could not find a buyer for several years. So we took it over and started to pay that one off. And then another couple months later, another franchise owner left, and my partner went to manage that store. I managed the new one, and we managed the smaller one, which is really this one now, which is now a bigger one. Passing by it in the morning, passing by it on the way home, and by phone. It was manageable because we had experienced staff at that time that had been with the franchise already for quite a few years. So it was working out fine. Then, a lot of changes happened that year. We ended up basically giving up the franchises and partnering with the franchise owners, and we amalgamated all the stores except this one, the one that we're in now, because that was the one we had already paid off. So we were not going to amalgamate that one into that same location. We put we put three stores under one roof to amalgamate on costs, etc., because the owners were no longer there, and they were not able to find new franchise owners or really good management staff that could run the business without constant supervision. And that worked for about 18 months. And then we decided, no, we're going to go on our own. So we left the partnership and we took our original store back. Of course, we did lose our the second store that we had started to pay for. We lost all that. We lost a lot of inventory. Of course, when we also separated back out of the partnership, we also lost a lot of deposits for weddings that were going on that summer that we still had to fulfill. So it was a very, very expensive year for us, but made us resilient. It made us strong. It made us really buckle down and take a hold of the expenses and take a hold of what is necessary, what is a must, and what is we can do this next year. Anyways, this was in 2016. It's now 2026. 2017, we moved into this warehouse. We gave up the other facility, which was way too small. We knocked off all the retail and we just kept the balloons. As you see here, we're in our showroom / balloon center. We do a fair amount of balloon decor for schools, as well as walk-in balloon arrangements for helium bouquets and birthdays, all kinds. We do quite a bit of corporate as well over the holidays, so that helps. And yeah, I just thought, now we've been here in this building 9 years already. It just blows my mind, 9 years. And it's been great. As you see, the warehouse has really high ceilings. We were able to bring that high pallet racking in, which helps with storage, especially for the items that barely go out. But anyways, I just thought I'd share, there is always something happening. Even if it's not crazy busy in the warehouse with orders, there's always so much else in your business that can be done. The administrative side is never ending. Anyways, I love it, which is great. And I'll share some numbers in a little while. And it is mid-month August, and it is absolutely insanely crazy, heavy weekend for weight. These are picnic tables. These are 3 of these light ones. We own 7 of these dark brown ones. 4 are already out to a client yesterday. And if we walk over here to our truck, we have another style, which is we call that the medium brown, because I had to choose colors to identify them. There are 30 of them in here. So this weekend we already have 12 picnic tables out. There's some of those going, some of these ones being delivered today, like I said, and there's already 4 delivered on there. They all get picked up on Friday. They get picked up on Friday and they get taken directly to another job site because they ordered 45 tables. As you know, I've just said I only own 40 of them. So tomorrow we've got to pick up 5 more from our friends in the industry here locally who have the same tables as those dark brown ones I showed you initially. So, and then they get picked up again on Saturday. Each table's about 90 pounds. So it's a very heavy weekend. To top that all off, we have another single order of 600 folding chairs. So that is, 12 stacks of 50 chairs that he's pulling up the ramp on this truck. It's a lot of weight, and it'll be busy because he's got to first unload all these picnic tables, come back, load all 600 chairs, and then go drop those off because that doesn't fit in the same load, right? It's just, there's not enough space. Once the other picnic tables here, the other 5 that he's picking up, plus the others, I think total of 12 is picked up on Friday, this is full. So there's no more room for chairs. So this one order is just picnic tables. The other order is just 600 chairs. Once that truck's full, it's full. Then he's got to come back, reload for all the wedding orders. Anyways, it's a crazy heavy weekend, but that's what you get. You get these spikes and then you get a dip. Last weekend was very heavy on linen and a lot of small orders being picked up, which is also great because that keeps the business open, right? All the little orders do add up. I mean, we had probably 70 small orders being picked up. It's a pretty average weekend in the summer. So we're pretty happy with that. Anyways, I just thought I'd share. Yesterday, the staff here, they did a lot of chair cleaning. They only have, so far, really just 2 stacks of 50 white that need to get cleaned for Friday. It's only Wednesday, so they have all day today and tomorrow to clean the last 100 chairs. I mean, there's a few still coming in, but all the black were done yesterday. This was empty yesterday, which now has, the extra 4 or 5 stacks that came back in yesterday, already cleaned and put back in its place. So they're ready to go for Friday's delivery.
This was me sharing a little bit about our mid-season and how we were handling the months and all of that. If you have questions about that, or if you have questions about workflow or warehouse flow, I'm certainly available to answer any questions you like. Drop them in the comments or shoot me a DM. Either way is fine. I'm here to help make life easier for as many people as possible because I sure know we sure struggled a lot at the beginning, and I would like to see other people not have to have the same struggles. Because why? You know, we can help each other. That's it. So anyways, wishing you the best of luck, best of success in your business. And until the next video, make it a great day. Hit the like and subscribe. And hit that little bell so that you know when the next video is going to be released. I look forward to you joining me, of course, on every future video.